All right, guys, here we go. We've been put up this headline. I said it's going to piss people off. And if so, just like I said in the post, so be it, because we're going to talk truth right here. KW versus eXp versus Remax. And now, first off, let me just say that I could have said versus Coldwell Banker versus Century 21 versus HomeSmart versus, I don't know, whatever, Sotheby's Compass or whatever other old school model is out there. I could have said any of it. And here is the truth, okay? eXp doesn't suddenly get you deals or get you leads, or it doesn't make you rich the day after you join and retire a week later. Okay, so there's just a lot of crap out there that gets completely misconstrued. And the real thing that actually matters, in my opinion, the only thing that matters is lost. It's lost at all times. There's one thing that eXp does far better, far superior, period, no discussion, just infinitely better than anybody else in this industry. And it's not even arguable. It is pretty much as close to a subjective thing to say can be to fact. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a story. And this is going to be quick. I'm not going to spend 30 or 40 minutes on here. I'm going to tell you a story. It's going to make sense, and then we are going to just kick out here. All right, so actually, let's throw that thing back up. All right. For me to really explain eXp and why, for example, my last year at my former company, my business grew by 10 million, while my first year at the new company, it grew by 49 million. Okay, that was the growth. That was the difference in growth. Why? Well, it's not because eXp brokered the deal any better than anybody else. That doesn't exist. All right. First of all, brokerage, the actual act of brokering the deal, that's a complete commodity. Okay, it's the same. It's either brokerage or it's not. Okay, there's no better way that eXp does it or Remax does it or KW. It doesn't exist. So that's not it. That's not why that happened. Let me illustrate why it happened. Excuse me, I got something here in my eye. Let me illustrate why it happened. Hopefully this makes sense. I got a phone call the other day from. Well, actually, let me just draw the picture here. It was one of these COVID-19 days. As you all probably have found out by now, we are just working, many of us more than ever, right? We're putting in the work it takes to survive this market. We're talking on just constantly talking and talking. And we're starting our days early, right? I'm on the phone and on Zooms from 7:30 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, sometimes longer, and I'm exhausted. So anyway, it's 5:30 in the afternoon. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but it was a weekday, 5:30 or so in the afternoon. And my phone rings. And I was tired. The last thing I wanted to do was be on the phone, period. I did not want to be on the phone. I didn't want to talk. My phone rings, though, and I look at it, and I see that it's Jeremy Larson. Jeremy Larson is one of my eXp partners in Santa Cruz. And so I look at it, I let it ring a couple times, and I took a deep breath, and I answered the phone. And it was Jeremy, and I didn't know what he wanted, so I took the call. The first thing I want to say is 99% of the world calling me, my mom calling me, my best friend, my wife, most people on the planet calling me, I would not have answered the phone. I was too tired. But it was one of my eXp partners, so I took it. Okay. And I said, "Hey, Jeremy, what's going on, man? What's up?" I didn't know what he wanted. So the question he asked me was interesting. And that's why this is the perfect story here. He said, "Dan, I saw you saying something online. I'm about to talk to somebody about eXp. And I saw you talking online recently about how eXp understands human behavior better than anybody else. How eXp really, that's the one thing. And Dan, what did you mean by that? Because I might want to share that with this person, but I don't really know what you meant." So here's what I meant, because what I meant is also the answer to what's actually different, really at its core, between any of these companies. But what I meant and what I described to him, which I'll now describe to you, is the one thing that inarguably separates eXp from anybody else, especially for those of us that are production focused and want to grow real estate businesses, period. And so here's what I said to him. I've gotten to know Jeremy now over the last year or so that he's been with us. He came to us as a $6 million producer, went to 30 million in year one, tracking to 80 million, closed 10 million, by the way, this past month. So I said, well, Jeremy, what I meant by eXp understands human behavior better than anybody else, what I meant is that, to be honest with you, I don't want to be on this phone call right now. I am dead tired. I absolutely did not want, I just don't want to be on this call. I want to do nothing except for veg out and lay on my sofa right now. Having said that, I saw it was you. You're one of my partners. And so I took the call. I didn't know what you wanted. Maybe you needed help with your listing presentation, or maybe you needed help with something with your Zillow leads, or maybe, I didn't know what you needed. Maybe something with your assistant, who knows? So anyway, I took the call. And that's what I mean by eXp understands human behavior and alignment better than anybody else. That's the one thing eXp has done absolutely remarkably and brilliantly. And what I said is, it's think about it this way, Jeremy. When I took this call, I didn't, I like you and I want to be nice to you and all that. But the reality is you know how they say that there's only two things that are certain in life, taxes and death, right? They're the two certainties in life. Well, there's one other certainty too. The other certainty in life is that we're always going to care as human beings, first and foremost, about ourselves and our family. Like, you can count on death, you can count on taxes, and you can also count on the fact that I'm going to take care of my household. Those are the three things that are certain. And when I answered this call, Jeremy, when I absolutely didn't want to, I answered it because I was showing up, I wasn't showing up for you, I was showing up for me. And the fact that eXp has figured out a way for me to show up to when I'm helping you, it's actually a format of me showing up for myself and for my family. eXp is guaranteed forever and on an ongoing basis that I'm always going to be there for you. Because when I help you, when I didn't know I thought you were going to ask me something about your business. And when I help you in your business and your business grows and it prospers, my family benefits. And because of that, that's what I meant the other day, Jeremy, when you saw me saying that online. eXp's figured out a way to guarantee that if you come with us, or with somebody comes with you, Jeremy, that not only will you show up for them, but so will I, so will Kyle Whistle, so will Curtis Johnson, so will Jake Kemp, so will Mike Reese, and so will Chuck Fazio and Mark Z and Tina Cole, and so will Jennifer Weiner and Jim Brooks and Ryan Tollefson and Dave DeVoe and Jen Schiff, and all of these mega producing agents will always show up for you. Not because they're feeling nice, and by the way, we're nice people. Not because we're just wanting to be helpful or charitable, and also that happens because that's right. Let's admit it. There's sharing that happens in other places too. Heck, I could go to a cocktail party and be shared with, but I'm only going to be shared with that cocktail party level, meaning whatever we had time for here and now because it was convenient and done. Back to your office, back to mine. Hopefully you remember whatever you could remember. Hopefully you fill in the gaps on your own. What's not going to happen in those environments, in those other environments, is, Jeremy, let's get on Zoom and let's go through the steps for this thing. Let's build out your postcard. Let's build out your lead management system for your agents or for your leads. Let me grab the three job descriptions for different parts of my business. And I know you're hiring that one person that's going to run all three jobs for now while you grow. And let me help put them all together so that you can then go and find the exact right person. And in fact, when you get down to the finalists, let me interview the three finalists so that I can screen them. It'll be your choice who you hire, but let me screen them. Anyway, what I'm trying to share with you, that's the difference, guys. When I was at KW, or had I been at Remax, or had I been at Compass, or had I been at Coldwell, or had I been at Sotheby's, I wouldn't have answered the call. I would have just let it go to voicemail and dealt with it when it was convenient to me. But because eXp's found a way to make it so that when I'm helping Jeremy, I'm actually helping me, well, point blank period, I hope it doesn't sound like an ugly thing. It's just a human thing. I'm going to be there very differently because of it. Okay, so that's it. You wanted to know what's different, one versus the other versus the other? Here's the deal. They all broker your business. None of them get you deals, right? Like, I never had a deal at eXp included. I've never had a deal because of eXp or lost a deal because of eXp. I never had a deal because of Keller Williams or lost a deal because of Keller Williams. There's nice and good people at both companies, all of those things. And by the way, some of my favorite people are still at my old company, and they, I try to call on them whenever I can, and it's not about that. It's just about the fact that when I'm dead tired and you're an agent that's joined us and you're calling a 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, right? And yeah, I could actually say 300 million because Andrew Franklin, well, he's part of the group. So anyway, when you're calling an agent like that for help on any specific part of your business and they're dead tired at the end of the day and they would not answer the phone for 99% of the world, they're going to answer the phone for you. Just like I did for Jeremy, because eXp's made it such that third guarantee, right? I'm always going to show up for myself, my household, my family, period. That's it. I hope that makes sense. And that's the difference. Okay. That's the difference. So when you're thinking about where your business is here and you want it to go there, because I'm just production focused. My business is here. I want it to go there. Well, first of all, how do I upgrade the space of people I'm around? And even if I'm around people, how do I upgrade the intention they have to make my business grow? Because in doing so, it makes their business grow. How do I surround myself with people that have already faced every business obstacle that I could possibly face in my future, so that instead of me having to repeat all the mistakes they've already made, I can get all of the detail on what worked and what didn't, and not just the what to do. That's what's shared from pretty much any stage. But you ever left here? Here's what I mean. You ever left the conference with, oh man, yeah, I'm going to do that. Absolutely. And then you get back to the office and you're like, wait a second, how do I do this? There's like 10 missing gaps here. How do I fill in the blanks? That's where you go from cocktail party sharing to partner level sharing. That's where you go from, hey, nice bumping into you at this thing or at this event or at this company thing. And, oh yeah, let's grab a coffee, and to let's jump on a Zoom and let me walk you through the whole thing. I'll tell you to press that button, then that button, then that button, then that one, and then boom, get the listing, right? Like that's where you transition from one degree of sharing to the other. That is the old world that I used to know to my new life at eXp. How do I use it? I use it to simply grow my production. We're going to have our third consecutive $200 million producing year this year. And I wish it was a $300 million producing year for the first time for my team. But COVID-19 got in the way. Now, here's the beauty, and this is a whole nother thing, because I'm going to be doing a workshop on how to survive this market and the one thing you need to know to survive the market. In fact, you could go to surviveinthismarket.com. Okay, surviveinthismarket.com. And in that, I'm purely going to go through the mindset of exactly, and this is brokerage agnostic, by the way, just what you have to do in your business to survive this. Because even though I'm going to have another $200 million producing year instead of a 300, that act of maintaining is actually growth. Okay. For example, in my own farm, I typically do about 5, 6, 7% of the closings in my farm. Over the course of the last 30 days, we're at 20%. Why? Because we've maintained while others have dropped off. So maintaining in this market is actually a form of growth. In any case, I'm production focused. I want to be surrounded by those that are going to be able to give me not just the what to do and the nice ideas, but hey, like also avoid this because this causes this kind of issue in your business, and you're going to want to think about this thing because I didn't think about that thing when I implemented the strategy and it caused me these issues. So if you do, address that, you'll avoid those issues. Those are the things that make us go faster, stronger, better, less expensive, right? And just create disproportional growth. Guys, I hope this is helpful. If there's anything I could do to help you in your business, you just let me know. Go win the week. It's early in the week. There's a lot to do. And remember, don't get discouraged right now. There's a lot of really great agents that are struggling, a lot of them. Okay. So don't get discouraged. Pour in, be focused, surround yourself with people that will give you everything that they've got. I mean, everything they've got, and that you can then turn around and make it yours. All right, guys, I hope that made sense. That's the difference from one company to the next to the next. That is, at least for me, what I've experienced, and it's been extremely powerful.